Hi, thanks for joining us today. This is Pastor Nick and Angela at Impact Church of God, and just want to share with you a word of encouragement from God's Word. In the book of Acts, the 27th chapter, the 25th verse, Paul was talking to us about believing in God, and sometimes that may look difficult because of a lot of things that we go through in life. In verse 25, Paul says, "Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God, that it shall be even as it was told to me." Paul believed against everything that was going on. And someone once said that what matters is not the storm, but what you do in the midst of your storm. You see, Paul was on this ship with all these men, and there was a lot of difficulties that he was being faced with even then, with the wind blowing and bouncing against the ship and battering it and thinking that it was going to be just capsized probably. Thinking about the weather conditions that he was going through. The ship, even at one time when it landed on an island, it broke apart, it says. But it also tells us that the sun was not even shining, the stars were not even shining. So it was a very dark time for them. At one point, they even said that they felt like all hope was lost of even being saved. You know, I think that sometimes in our life that it can really feel just like that. It feels so dark, and there's like darkness all around us sometimes. Sometimes life will even blow us some bad situations. And sometimes even it looks like all hope is lost. But you see, God never promised that in our lives that everything would always be smooth sailing.
Right, and I love how Paul stood up in the middle of that storm and he declared, we are going to make it.
Yes.
And the reason why he did that was because he was a child of God, and with that promise. You know, no matter what it looked like, Paul was going to trust God no matter what, because he knew God was with him, and he knew that he had that promise.
Right. It's very true. You see, though, that faith is not just asking and receiving. Faith is actually trusting God no matter what it looks like and despite the outcome. In order to survive the storm, the first thing that you've got to do in life is you've got to rely on the promise that God has given you. When God gives you a command and a destination, He always gives you a promise. You see, you may be holding on to some broken pieces of life. You may be broken dreams and broken relationships. You may even be hanging by a thread and even a prayer. But can I just encourage somebody to hang on anyways? Because you can believe God, and if He's give you a promise, you're going to get through it. This is what Paul's words were. He said, "I believe God, that it will be just as it was told to me." I believe that's the kind of faith that you and I need to have.
Yeah.
That, you know what? If God said it, that settles it. We love you, and God bless you. Thanks for being with us.
God bless you guys.